He calls himself a motivational coach. His goal? To inspire, to uplift, to change lives. But instead, he's destroying his own.
Come to Harold's Chicken. You gotta come to Harold's Chicken. If you in Chicago, you gotta come to Harold's Chicken.
Every morning, he wakes up and looks in the mirror. Not to check his hair, not to check his smile. He looks for something else. Something darker. He asks himself, what can I do today to go viral?
Make it out! You can make it out! You can make it out! You gotta let go of the past! You gotta let go of the past! You gotta...
Not what can I say to help someone, but what can I do to get views? Because in his world, views mean value. And his name, Carlton Mallister. But online, they call him See the Truth. Oh, the irony. At first, he had good intentions. His first few videos were simple, honest. Standing in a park, talking about self-love, sitting on a workout bike, telling people not to give up. He said, embrace your flaws. Love yourself. And he meant it. You could see it in his eyes. But no one watched. A few hundred views, maybe 1,000. No likes, no comments, just silence.
Embrace your flaws, embrace your insecurities. See, everybody got flaws, everybody deal with insecurities. They just good at concealing it. And they just not gonna tell you, but you gotta live in your truth. You gotta do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what makes you happy. You can't worry about what everybody else think, because if you worry about what everybody else think, you ain't living for yourself. You ain't happy with yourself. And that's the truth.
That's when he realized the truth alone wasn't enough. He needed something louder, crazier, bigger. And then it began. He started pouring milk on himself in grocery stores. Ketchup, flour, juice, and always while shouting things like, you are somebody, or keep going. Sometimes he yelled into people's faces. Sometimes he screamed in the middle of Walmart. And sometimes he made a mess so big, employees just stood there in shock, not knowing whether to call security or grab a mop. And what did Carlton do? He smiled. Because finally, the views were coming in.
Move forward. You gotta keep moving forward. You gotta accept it or reject it. You gotta keep moving forward. It worked out or it didn't work out. You gotta keep moving forward. If you at a point in your life,
100,000, 200,000, 1,000,000. People started following him, commenting, reposting, but they weren't saying, you inspired me. They were laughing, cringing, saying things like, what is this clown doing now? But Carlton didn't care. He thought, they're talking about me. I must be doing something right. He wasn't. Every new video was worse than the last. He started running into strangers and throwing water on them.
I already told you. I already told you. I already told you. You can't never quit. I already told you. It don't matter what they say.
He smeared food on his own face. He collapsed on the subway floor and screamed about heartbreak. Sometimes he used soap, sometimes barbecue sauce, and always with a camera recording. And every time someone told him to stop, he shouted louder. You got to wake up, you can't be asleep all day long. But in truth, the only one sleeping was him, sleepwalking through his own life, chasing likes instead of love, followers instead of friends. You'd think someone would stop him, a family member, a friend, even the police. But Carlton was always one step ahead. Always moving city to city, Florida, Atlanta, New York. He was everywhere and nowhere, like a ghost with a GoPro. People started calling him annoying, a menace, a clown. But Carlton believed they were just haters. He said, they don't understand my message. But the message was gone.
Keep going. You better keep going. You cried and cried many nights, but you better keep going. You've been through so much pain, and you don't think you can do it no more, but you better keep going. They treated you like a nobody, but you better keep going.
Lost beneath layers of slime, ketchup, and spilled milk. The sad part? He still believed he was helping people. He said things like, it's cool to be different, while standing in the middle of a store aisle covered in syrup. He shouted, do what makes you happy, while ruining someone's workday. He screamed, don't give up, as he dumped flour on the floor of a subway train. But no one clapped, no one smiled, just groans, eye rolls, people walking away in silence. You see, Carlton wasn't just making messes in stores. He was making a mess of his life. He got arrested, Twice. Once for resisting arrest, another time for theft. Maybe it wasn't about the videos. Maybe it was.
Get up! You better get up! Why are you in there and I'm out here? It's 5 in the morning and you still laying in the bed! Why are you still laying in the bed?
But either way, the fame he wanted so badly was slipping through his fingers. And the saddest thing? He didn't even seem to notice. He kept posting. Every day. Videos with the same script. The same look. The same sadness hidden behind a fake smile. He shouted louder, made bigger messes, got more outrageous, and people kept watching, not because they were inspired, but because they couldn't look away from the crash. Carlton became the car wreck of TikTok, the guy you watched when you wanted to feel better about your own life. And deep down, maybe he knew that. Maybe he knew he wasn't really motivating anyone. Maybe he knew the applause was fake. Maybe, just maybe, he was trying to motivate himself. Maybe every "you are somebody" was really meant for him. Because maybe Carlton felt like nobody.
Do not commit suicide! Do not commit suicide! Even if you get bullied, do not commit suicide! Even if you're going through hard times!
The fame he thought would heal him only made him lonelier. He didn't have fans. He had spectators. He didn't have friends. He had comments. He wasn't building a community, he was building a cage. And with every video, he locked himself in tighter. Even when he collaborated with other influencers, it was fake, staged, forced. You could see it in their faces. They weren't inspired. They were embarrassed. And the money? Please. Instagram barely pays. TikTok only pays the huge creators. Carlton was doing all this for attention, not dollars. He poured food on himself for free. For what? Fame? But real fame brings respect, recognition, not disgust, not lawsuits. One day he filmed in a restaurant, yelling about staying strong while dumping drinks on the floor, and right next to him, a mother and child sat looking horrified. The mom asked him to stop. He didn't. He kept going. That video went viral, but not in a good way. People were angry. He's gone too far, they said, but Carlton just smiled. Because the video had 1.2 million views. Carlton is not evil. He's lost. He started out with a good heart. He wanted to help, but the internet doesn't reward kindness. It rewards chaos, outrage, noise. And Carlton played the game, but the game is playing him back now. He's no longer a coach. He's the cautionary tale. He says, keep going, but the only thing that's really going is his dignity. He says, love yourself. But you can't love yourself when you spend every day humiliating yourself for strangers online. He says, do what brings you peace. But there is no peace in being a public nuisance. Carlton, if you're watching this, stop. Not because people hate you, not because of the comments, not even because of the arrests, but because you deserve better. You deserve real happiness, not viral moments, not 15 seconds of fame. Get help. Talk to someone. Look in the mirror and ask, am I proud of who I've become? Not how many views you got, not how many people watched you scream in the middle of Target, but are you happy? Because right now, it doesn't look like it. And the truth is, no matter how many times you say that's the truth at the end of your videos, this isn't the truth. It's a mask, a circus act, a cry for help disguised as motivation. You don't have to be different to be noticed. You don't have to pour ranch dressing on your head to be heard. You just have to be honest. And being honest means admitting when you're lost. It means stopping before it's too late. So please, Carlton, if you really want to inspire people, start by saving yourself. That's the real truth. If you think Carlton needs to stop before it's too late, share this video. Let's remind the world that real motivation doesn't come from chaos. It comes from truth. Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Your voice can make a difference.